Yeah, that's right. You're tuning in to the More For Me and You podcast. That's real interviews, real movie reviews, real people, real journeys. If you real, lock in. I've been working all night, early in the morning. If you hustle high, hustle, you can never waste a moment. That's more for me and you. 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 Let's go.
Welcome back to the More For Me and You podcast, brought to you by the free streaming service Mometu. And today we have a very special guest on, a friend of mine that I actually met last year at the American Film Convention. And she has an incredible story because she is building something that I think is very exciting for upcoming filmmakers and just filmmakers that are looking to get through the festival circuit without wasting time or money. So please help me welcome Brynne Norquist. Welcome to the pod.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What an introduction, right?
Yeah, really amazing job.
I hope you can live up to it.
Thanks. I hope so too. I'm nervous, but this is awesome.
Brynne, it was incredible meeting you at AFC. I felt like our paths were destined to meet.
100%. I love meeting those types of people where you just know we're in sync.
100%. And obviously, I founded a film festival, which really aligns with what you're doing at HiiKE.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to talk more about HiiKE.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, before we take a hike to HiiKE, we are going to talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
Because this podcast is a little different. We don't just talk about what you're doing now. We want to give a little context to the listener, make sure they understand who you are. Like, why should they love you? We want to talk a little about your journey.
Okay.
And get into that. So without wasting time, who are you? Where are you from? And I mean, even if you want to kind of talk a little bit about what kind of kid you were, like, love to know that stuff too. It's kind of fun.
I am, well, first of all, I'm Brynne Norquist, and I am originally a New Yorker. Now I'm living in LA. I've turned to the west side, the West Coast.
West side's the best side. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. But I grew up in New York. Neither of my parents were in the film industry at all. They actually worked in finance. So I popped out this creative kid that no one really knew what to do with. And I rode the wave of just acting a lot as a child, doing community theater. And then my community theater had a little agent manager showcase, and I got signed. And that's when I started acting professionally in my very young years. And I was in a couple movies, and it was from there that I got really interested in film. So I've actually been making film since I was 12, and now I am getting back into it. But I took a little short stint there where I wasn't making films so that I could build something for filmmakers. And yeah, that's kind of like speedrun version of me, I guess.
So you kept talking, and all I heard was finance. Because of the fact that, I don't know why, when I hear the word finance, I think of that song that was like super popular for a little bit. Like, I'm looking for a man in finance.
Trust fund.
Trust fund. I don't know why it's so catchy. No, that's incredible. You have such an incredible journey.
Thanks.
I got to read about it and research about it and all that stuff. But yeah, your early days, you got to act.
I got to act. I got to be on set with some really cool people at a very, very young age. And there would have been no other introduction. I think I've always been destined to be in this industry. I'm so attracted to entertainment and film specifically that it was destined to happen. But I'm so privileged that it got to happen at such an early age. And I've just never left the space.
Who got you into that space though? Like, did your parents throw you in, or just like that was just who you kind of were?
It's actually so funny. My mom talks about this all the time. She's like, I'm incredibly grateful, by the way. I have the most amazing support system with my family. They have never made me do anything, pushed me to do anything, or made me feel stupid for achieving my dreams and doing what I am doing. Like, as a child, I truly was just the creative one in our family. And I said it before, but I just genuinely rode the wave of it. Like, it went from theater in my town to theater in the county to I got signed to a manager, and my mom was like, great, I guess we're taking you to auditions now. It was actually it was so funny. When I was younger, I think I was like 10 years old, and I missed every math class in like 4th grade.
Because you're just doing auditions.
Because I was
or
going to
on set
auditions
or
in the
whatever.
city, to the point where my parents were like, all right, I think we need to send you to school in the city so you don't miss math class anymore.
Smart.
And that's exactly what happened.
That's really smart. I would have never
Yeah.
thought about that as a parent. But yeah, I guess with the travel to the city.
Yeah, that's something I didn't say yet, but I am from Westchester, New York, but at the ripe age of 13, I started going to school in Manhattan. So
Crazy.
yeah, I was a commuter kid.
And we can talk to Craig, by the way. Craig's here. He doesn't have a
Hey,
microphone, but Craig's actually from Philly. So he
Oh,
knows
cool.
the East Coast very well. That's
Yeah.
why he was kind of like,
Oh, no way. Yeah, I'm really close to White Plains.
yeah, I can't, we have headphones on, but I heard him say,
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I know what you went through. So,
Oh, yeah, it was brutal, having to commute 45 minutes to an hour every day just to get to school. And then it wasn't like I was coming home right after school. It was like my life started once the school bell rung. Like I was able to go downtown and go live my creative self and express myself creatively. And it was funny because I think going to an academic high school and an academic middle school where everyone was highly, highly successful and smart. And I was smart in my own way. Like I'm in the creative economy. Yeah.
even as an entrepreneur, like even,
Yeah.
running a company, you also, especially with a startup, you have to
Yeah.
kind of get in front and do things that typically other companies would probably hire someone else to do. Like,
Oh,
you're like,
yeah.
no, I have to be that person because
100%.
we don't have the budget for that yet,
Yeah.
or whatever, right? So like, yeah, you have to be a creative.
100%.
You're a creative. It's okay.
I am.
I didn't want to be a creative. I mean, and I'm having a blast. Like,
Yeah.
doing this podcast, no joke. Like, this was something that was not on my bingo card
Mm-hmm.
at all. I didn't think I was going to have to manage any social media pages, nothing like that. I'm figuring it out. Like, I'm
Love that.
and I'm learning at 40. Like, I'll say it. I'm learning
It's
social
great.
media. I'm learning to operate and run a podcast and
Yeah.
like do all this stuff in conjunction with my man Craig over here. But it's like,
Awesome.
not and Ken. Shout out to Ken. Love you,
Shout
Ken.
out to Ken.
So like,
Can
yeah.
I teach you a word?
Yeah, please.
Epistemophilia. Have you ever heard of that word?
Epistemophilia. I feel like this is a word that some 7th grader or like some 7-year-old is gonna have to spell at a spelling bee, but
Maybe. Yeah.
can you use it in a
I
sentence?
discovered this
What is the
word.
origin?
I am a epistemophiliac, I guess, and it
Okay.
sounds like you are too. Epistemophilia is the love of learning, and
Ooh.
I definitely think myself to be that. And
I love that.
you learning at 40, it's this love of learning that is never going to stop. So I've always had that sort of curiosity of like when I don't know something, I think it's such a privilege to be surrounded by people who know more than you because you can just soak up that information and better yourself.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I know a lot about a little. I know a little bit of a lot.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm always like in different spaces wanting to know. Like, people say like, "What's your favorite sports team?" And like, well, like some people are like, "Oh, I'm a diehard Packers fan" or something like that, right? It's like for me, it's like, "Oh, I'm a big Manchester United fan, but I'm also a Dodger fan, a Kings fan, like a Lakers fan, and like Rams fan, and like I all these teams, right?" And I just
Yeah.
love all the sports, but I don't know the in-depth knowledge like as much as say a person with. It's same with film actually. Like
Yeah.
I'm a big film lover,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't say I'm a cinephile.
Really interesting.
Yeah, like I love film. I've been on film sets. I grew up on film sets. Like
Mhm.
I've watched a ton of movies, but I'm not that cinephile that knows the deepest, darkest history of a certain director. And like I know every film that whatever actor has been in and whatever. Like,
Yeah.
because I'll be like, oh yeah, like that was a funny quote. Like I'll just say something, be like, oh, remember that quote? I
Yeah.
remember that movie, like. Whatever, and it always comes up, and I always think about random, like again, the random stuff as far
Yeah.
as like I am a butterfly with the whole like trust fund finance thing. Like a random word will pop up, and I'll just think of a movie quote sometimes, and it won't get out of my head. It'll just continue to spin like it's a hamster in my head.
My fault is I remember faces and not names.
Mm.
So it's really funny because someone will say an actress or an actor, and I'll be like, I don't know them. And they're like, you don't know XYZ? And I'm
Yeah.
like, no. And then I watch the movie and I'm like, oh my God, I love that actress.
They're like, yeah, we just talked about her. Like,
yeah, I'm the same way.
cool.
Yeah.
Epistemophilia.
Epistemophilia.
So am I a epistemophiliac? Is that what I am?
I would say so.
I need to get a shirt made. Craig, we're getting a shirt made. Run it. So you did a little bit of acting as a kid. I'm
Yeah.
guessing that's not what your maybe most favorite pastime was, because I mean, even though it's really fun,
Yeah.
you probably got out and played and did different things. Did you do any sports, or like what were you involved in?
I did do some sports. I will say I really just mostly was attracted to the film industry and being a part of it. Like that truly was my favorite thing to do. But yeah, I grew up in a very athletic family, so I tagged along with them. My dad definitely left that imprint on us of different sports.
Yeah. What did you do? What did you play?
I played a little bit of lacrosse. So I was on a travel team for like 6 months.
Yeah, which is getting bigger on the West Coast now. It's a
Really?
big, it's a big East Coast
Big
sport,
East Coast
but
sport.
getting bigger on
Yeah.
the West Coast. Yeah, it's getting
I
there.
was actually the goalie of lacrosse. Pretty funny. And my biggest sport was ski racing. I was a ski racer growing up.
Very cool. Is that like
Yeah.
so like downhill skiing, like real fast
Yeah,
stuff,
like
or
totally. It was downhill ski racing. Technically, downhill is actually not legal for people under 18 because it's so dangerous. But I did slalom, giant slalom, and super G.
very cool. Super G, who is that famous female Super G skier? Dated Tiger Woods, I think, for a little bit.
Lindsey Vonn.
Lindsey Vonn, yeah.
Yeah, she's not she's a amazing skier in every category. She's just like one of the best skiers ever. I actually got to meet her once. She was really cool. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies of all time growing up, and you may not know the reference, but Johnny Tsunami.
I don't know it.
I didn't
I'm
think
sorry.
you would. It's okay. I'm a little older than you. So yeah, the skis and the skis, or the skies and the urchins. Yeah, that just reminds me of all that stuff with skiing. So get a little older.
Yeah.
You're getting out of high school, and college is there.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about where you went and what was your focus.
I
going
love
there?
talking about this.
I
I
know you
went
do.
to Emerson College, film school, and
Yeah.
I'm proud of it. I know that film school is a controversial topic, but truly Emerson was one of the best experiences of my life. It's pretty funny. When I went to Emerson, I was convinced that I was going to be a screenwriter because
Interesting.
I did a lot of writing in my teens.
Yeah, and they have a great film program.
Incredible film program.
Yeah.
I believe that we're at number 6 right now. Number 6 or number 5, one of them. As according to Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah, according to whoever. Yeah, right. But
Yeah.
either way,
Who cares? Whatever. Anyways, it is a great film school.
You could have a great film school, but then the greatest filmmaker could come out of
Anywhere.
not one of those. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Either way, it's a phenomenal film school.
It really
Love to
was.
get Emerson involved more in the Mometu College Film Festival.
Yes, I know.
It's a school we
were
have
trying.
not had a part of it yet. Not yet. Just
And
yet.
We
We'll say
will.
yet.
You know what? Maybe, just maybe, when you're accepting submissions on HiiKE,
You know, I heard
we'll get
yeah,
Emerson more involved.
I heard there's this great film
Yeah,
festival
this
platform.
really cool.
Up and
I heard really
coming.
cool people use this platform called HiiKE.
Yes, but before we get into HiiKE,
Okay.
let's talk a little bit more about your college experience.
Yeah, get
Because
into it.
You went in there. You're going to be a screenwriter.
Yeah. So when
What changed?
I was super attracted to screenwriting. I loved writing a lot in my teens. I actually had an amazing writing mentor, Kristen Hange. She's a Tony-nominated director, and she's directed some really incredible films as well. And she taught me everything I needed to know about screenwriting, and I wrote a feature. She encouraged me to do a reading for that feature. I did a reading with like all of my actor friends, got them all together in one of those studios in New York, Ripley Greer Studios. And from there, I ended up flying out to LA, and I pitched it to a couple studios out here, which was like the coolest
So
thing at the
fun.
time because I was literally 15 years old. But going to Emerson, knew that I wanted to be around scripts. And in doing so, I immediately leveraged my network the second I got in, because I had committed in December, which is not super typical for colleges. Like I got in early, and then I was like, I'm going. Like I knew I wanted to go there. So I immediately started reaching out to current students, alumni, all those things, and found this development company that was hiring an intern. And I actually started my first internship before I started my first ever class at Emerson.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm a little nuts, but
I am not actually surprised at that. Just knowing the level of drive that you have, I'm not surprised.
yeah,
And
it's
actually,
pretty crazy.
even looking back, like when I went to college, like we didn't have access to that kind of stuff. Like the fact that you have like all the technology to be able to reach people like that really didn't involve. You got to remember when I went to college, like when I started, that was when Facebook was only for college students. So I mean, like you couldn't even talk to the college students unless you had a Facebook. So like nowadays you can reach out and go on LinkedIn and someone's already probably putting that there. I'm a sophomore at Emerson, and you're like, oh hey, let's talk.
Exactly. It was honestly, I'm so glad that I did that. But yeah, I started working for this development company called Brave Films in New York, small boutique development company. And it was through doing that I realized I was more attracted to the operations of the business than I was doing script coverage and being with the scripts themselves. Like I wanted to be doing outreach to agents and managers at CAA and WME. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I wanted to know how the organizational structure was actually working in the company and how company finances were being managed. So I was one of the only interns that actually stayed. And I transitioned from a development intern, like a true creative position, to a business and outreach intern.
That's
and
wild.
that really changed the course of my life. So it was all very natural, like going from the screenwriting into my whole business side of things. I followed that in myself, and I knew it was funny. I was like, I might be a little bit more like my parents than I thought I was because they're not creative. But yeah, I followed that truly. Like I believed in myself and shifted over.
Yeah, and you went to Emerson to do what though? What was your actual major?
Oh yeah, well my major was technically called visual media arts, but that is film. I studied film.
Yeah. So you were in the film program.
I was in the film program.
Yeah.
And then I ended up declaring a double minor in business and economics.
Wow.
Yeah. But I dropped my economics minor eventually because I wanted to graduate early, and I was on path to graduate early. So I was like, I'm just not going to finish my econ minor. But I took some of the most incredible economics classes ever, where I learned about Hollywood economics, because that's what film school has.
Great to take the classes. Don't necessarily need the paper.
Yeah.
That was actually my wife went through a similar thing when she was in college, and it was like she was doing managerial and organizational communications with a minor in PR. Then she also had a double minor in Spanish, and she's like, well, it'd be good to have like finish out Spanish and maybe like be able to use it for within PR or whatever. And then got to a point where it was like she just didn't enjoy it anymore, and I was like, do you really need this? Like, are you actually going to do PR in like Mexico or something?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, probably not. And I was like, well, don't stress yourself out about school. Just like,
it's just
focus
funny.
on what you really want to do.
For me, I ended up actually using economics quite a lot. Like understanding the economic backbone of Hollywood and the creative economy was 100%. One of the most pivotal things of why I actually am able to build HiiKE in a meaningful way. So I definitely used my knowledge very well. I still kept in touch with my econ professor that I had in college. He ended up actually doing some data science work for HiiKE. So crazy like that actually happened. But yeah, I loved the classes that I took. I just like soaked up the knowledge that I could. And then I was like, and I'm ready to graduate and go into the world. But while I was at Emerson, one of my favorite things was being a part of the organizations that they had on campus, because those organizations truly mimic real life, and you're constantly in touch with people who are actively pursuing incredible careers in the industry.
And hopefully some of the alumni are still staying involved with it.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I was the line producer of the Evie Awards, which was the largest broadcasted student award show in the world. Wow. And we, in one of my years as line producer, we actually gave the Daniels the Alumni Award, which was really cool. And they were involved in the show. So that was one of the coolest things ever, because the Daniels are so renowned.
There was also something called Frames Per Second.
Yeah, Frames Per Second. That was one of the best orgs that I became a part of. I joined that org my freshman year. I was the workshop coordinator my first year. So in that position, I knew I wanted to be involved. Like I didn't just want to join a club. I wanted to be on the executive board of the club. So
but it's just so ambitious as a freshman. Like I want to be on the board. It's like crazy.
Yeah. So I joined that club. I was the workshop coordinator. Really cool stuff. It was essentially planning workshops every week for 9 weeks with people in the industry. And I had some cool people come. Actually, Kristen who I mentioned earlier, she came, and that was really cool because she got to speak about being a woman in the industry. And yeah, we had some really, really amazing workshops. I had Ed Vicola, who is an Emerson alumni. He's a writer on Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
he came. This was many years ago now. I'm kind of blanking on the other ones, but we had some really, really fun ones. I know we had a budgeting workshop. It was great. Anyways, besides the point, I started as workshop coordinator, and around that time, I was realizing that all of these filmmakers at Emerson were making so many films. Like, we literally, in our organization alone, we had a narrative program, right? And that was, we gave $10,000 to a 10-page script, essentially, and $4,000 or $5,000 to a 6 or 7-page script to make their films. And that was
make their
like
short films. Yeah.
huge. Those are huge budgets for short films. Yeah. I mean, people now are like begging for those types of budgets for shorts. So
Yeah, I mean, there's one of the filmmakers, actually the guy who won Best Picture
Yeah.
in the Mometu College Film Festival.
nice.
He made a short for $800.
Yeah. So cool. And
And pulled favors and all this stuff as much as he could do just to do that. And like, that's insane. $10,000 could really go a long way
I
with a
know.
short film.
And they were. It was going a really long way. Like, these grants that Emerson was giving to their students, and the hundreds of thousands of dollars in free equipment, and our partnership with ARI, like, we had so much that students were able to take advantage of, only for films to go nowhere. Like, they would end up online, just on YouTube or Vimeo or Instagram or TikTok.
I had the biggest pet peeve about that. It's just
Yeah.
like, you work so hard on your senior thesis and then it just
Lives
like,
there. It
you
just
go to
sits.
a few festivals and that's it. Like,
No, it wasn't even going to the festivals.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that's
was
that's
the
a shame.
tricky thing. So what ended up happening is, frames per second, we were like, we need a distribution program. Like, we need to start taking films beyond this
Absolutely.
weird, messed up system that we have so far, that the entire Emerson community has just like said yes to. And we were the first organization ever to launch Emerson's first ever distribution program. So I led that program in our first year and launched it. And we took 3 films through the festival circuit. And it was crazy because with just $350, $350, like, our school was like, okay, you get $350 per film. Let's see what you can do. We were actually able to get a couple Oscar qualifying festival laurels
So
for
cool.
those films. It was crazy, And these were films that otherwise may have just gone nowhere. And instead, they were reaching their audiences in a very meaningful way that, 1, was incredible for their personal careers, and 2, their films were getting seen by really, really cool audiences.
Yeah. I mean,
That was validation enough.
yeah. I mean, everything is resonating with me right now because it's just like, man, I'm just thinking more about like our festival too. Cause it's like, it's literally all those things that you're mentioning. It's like all the drive that I have behind like getting the development behind like a short to a feature, and making sure that we put all these films on Mometu for 30 days so that like we can get more eyeballs. We had over 500,000 minutes watched of the short films, 83 short films from 38 different colleges and universities. Like, what other film festival that, like, if you go to a local film festival, like, you might get 200 eyeballs on it, like, on a good day,
For sure.
right? Like, probably less than 100 on most.
So I want to share a pretty cool statistic.
Yeah, love it.
Carrie Putnam recently released a study last November with Harvard Shorenstein, and she was the former executive director of Sundance, for those who don't know. But she released a study about the independent film market. And in that, there was a whole section about film festivals. And she identified that annually there's actually 6.6 million attendees at U.S. film festivals, just in the U.S. alone. And when you think about that, that's no small number. And the fan base is estimated to be around 20 million people for those festivals. Like, it's not a fan base that doesn't actually exist. It's a fan base that needs to be converted into audience and attendees at those festivals, but that's besides the point. The audience base that you can tap into just by going on the festival circuit, there's such a call to own your own audience right now, especially with the creator economy and all of those trends. It's important that you're able to actually own your own audience, and the festival circuit is a way to do that. So it's it's really amazing what you guys are actually doing and how you're able to put so many eyes on a project beyond the festival. But anyways, back to the program. Yeah. So that year after we had so much success with like such a huge limitation and tiny budget. I won Student Leader of the Year, so that was really cool. My parents were really proud of me, and
I was gonna be like, of course you did, but yes, no, that's incredible.
Yeah, so I won Student Leader of the Year, and then I started getting submissions from students at other film programs.
Wow.
And I didn't market the program outside of Emerson.
They just heard about it.
Yes. So it was this word of mouth thing where I was like, okay, we identified this problem within Emerson. And beyond that, now there's this call for filmmakers elsewhere that are experiencing the same issue. It was such an organic problem that I identified. And I was like, I think I have something here. So I spent that entire summer just speaking to filmmakers all over the country, whether that be other student filmmakers. I think I spoke to filmmakers at 12 film schools that summer. And beyond that, independent filmmakers of all shapes and sizes, per se, like filmmakers who hadn't attended any festivals ever to filmmakers who had played Sundance and Cannes multiple times. Mm-hmm. And across the board, I was finding this thread that independent films didn't know how to find the right audiences. They didn't know which festivals were even right for them. And beyond that, they didn't know how to get their films outside of the festival circuit. Like less than 10% of independent films are securing meaningful distribution beyond the festival circuit. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to solve for this. And with literally no knowledge about business whatsoever. I mean, I had obviously done my internships and I was in the business roles there, but like I didn't know how to be an entrepreneur. It's not like I was at school studying entrepreneurship or anything. I kind of had to figure it out as I decided to build this company. So I signed up for a startups class and I started going to events in Boston. Obviously Emerson's in Boston, but the Boston entrepreneurship ecosystem, the startup ecosystem is truly wonderful. So there was events like multiple times a week, every week, and I would go to as many of them as I could. And I would go alone. I was the least knowledgeable person in the room, but I kind of just soaked up as much knowledge as I could learn at those things. It was funny. At first, it felt like a different language. Like I talk about that a lot. Like it truly feels like a different language when you just get thrown into it. And I remember I would just scribble down terms that I needed to search up later. Yep. And now it feels so cool to be like fluent in the language. But yeah, it all happened simultaneously. It was like I was learning about entrepreneurship as I was trying to build a company.
So cool. And that gave birth to HiiKE.
HiiKE, yeah.
HiiKE, for those of you that are trying to figure out how to spell HiiKE.
Yeah.
There's two I's.
There are two I's. Honestly, it's because HiiKE was taken, but...
Is that really what it is?
Yeah, but there's actually a cute story behind it. It comes from ski racing. So yeah, the ski racing thing, actually, it was a huge part of my life. It was one of the best things I ever did. And it taught me resilience. And the reason why is because it's an individual sport. Mm-hmm. And when you're skiing down that course, it's literally just you. And you have to finish at the finish line. And it comes down to like 100th of a second between the competitor before you and who's going to place after you. Seriously. It's like, it will be like your run was 58 seconds, 0.03. And someone who's at 0.02 is going to beat you. It's remarkable the way that this sport just tests you every time. Yep. But because it's such a fast and dangerous and technical sport, half the racers are going to fall or miss a gate when they're going down. And most people kind of just get up and they ski off the course and disqualify themselves from the competition. Like it really is a testament to resilience. Like if you fall and you get back up and you hike and you correct your missed gate and you finish the course, that says a lot about who you are. And truthfully, I mean, the independent film market, anyone who's in film at all knows that it's being undeniably threatened right now. Yeah. And with that, we can't just give up. We can't just let this market die. We can't afford to lose this market. This market is so fundamental to what film is entirely. The name comes from we need to get up and we need to hike because the independent film market has missed its gate. And yeah, that's kind of the story behind it. So yes, HiiKE was taken. Okay.
I think that kind of
But
played out in your favor, though.
HII, the little diamonds above the eyes, is kind of an homage to the ski racing thing. It's double diamonds, you
Yeah.
know? And I think that people can draw inferences from the distribution program to HiiKE. But the cool thing was actually back to that journey a little bit is when I was figuring out the whole entrepreneurship thing, in that community, it was so remarkable to feel like all I wanted to do was just kind of expand the program globally or nationally and see if I could help more filmmakers one-on-one. And it was within the entrepreneurship space where I realized I didn't just have to do that. I was actually able to build a scalable product using software that kind of attacked the problem at its core for everyone. Like I actually have the influence to change this landscape and change how people
100%.
interact with it entirely. And that was really powerful because I mentioned this before, but I went to a really academic high school and I was coined the creative my whole life. So finally, I'm in these communities where not only people find my insight valuable, they want to help me achieve my goals and they want to see me build a really cool product that can change the
It is
landscape.
the coolest thing about the independent film world is that everyone wants to help each other.
Yeah.
And even with Mometu, building another streaming service, like there's so many streaming services out
Yeah.
there, but the fact that like our major focus is the underserved content, the independent filmmaker, the filmmaker who may get like onto another streamer, get like a big streamer. I'm not going to say any names, but it's like you get to a bigger streamer, even if they're free, and you get like the first 90 days is awesome. And after that, it's like nothing. Ghost town. Just, you can hear a pin drop. No money being made at all. Because they push you for 90 days. And it's like, if you hit a certain metric, they'll keep pushing you. But once your metric drops off, they got to go back to what they've paid for, licensing fees, originals, whatever. And your film gets pushed down. And so we actually get to take, underserved content and put it in the limelight.
It's really cool.
And so but with that, getting the whole reason I brought that up was the fact of the independent community is like, hey, we want to support this.
Yeah. The independent film world and the startup world are actually quite similar
Very
at their
similar.
core. It's
'Cause they
actually
are
really funny.
startups. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, of course. But a lot of people wouldn't think so. Anyways, beyond that, when I got to the point where I was like, okay, I can actually build something
yeah.
scalable here, I knew I needed more insight about the festival perspective of things because I have been making films since I was literally 12 years old after I was on my first film set, but I had never worked at a festival. And that was such a crucial part of my business model.
Absolutely.
So I started using my LinkedIn network and just mass connecting with everyone I remotely knew, had a mutual connection with, who had worked at film festivals. And I was speaking to as many people as possible, having like 30-minute coffee chats, kind of figuring out pain points of what was wrong with the festival circuit, what was right inside festival operations. And then I met this girl, Tyler, and we literally thought we were having coffee for 30 minutes to speak about her experience using a different platform to manage a festival. And we sat there for 3.5 hours. She completely saw the problem from a beautiful, unique side of things where like I saw the filmmaker side of things, she saw the festival side of things, and her and I immediately knew we wanted to work together. And the most beautiful part of that relationship is she's technical. Like she codes. She studied computer science when she first got to school, ended up transitioning over to data science and business. And we were like, okay, we can actually do this together. So she came on board as CTO of HiiKE, and it was remarkable because how likely is it to meet someone, one, in your city, two, your age? We were literally 21 and 22 when we met.
Crazy.
Right? So weird.
Tyler, you're awesome, by the way.
Tyler's
Shout out to
awesome. Tyler's amazing. And so it felt so like we had so many.
There's a lot of synergy there. You guys have a lot of the same energy.
It felt like
when
fate.
It comes to just putting this together.
It felt like complete fate. Like
100% meant to be.
Yeah, totally. And her and I immediately knew it too. Like, in fact, this is actually so cute. At around the 3-hour mark, both of us had to go to the bathroom. We go to the bathroom and both of us texted our moms.
Around the third hour of our 30-minute movie.
Yeah. No, but both of us texted our moms and we were like,
Yeah.
I need to work with this girl. Like, Tyler actually left the internship.
I found my calling.
Yes. She left the internship she was at, working at a film company in Boston, to join HiiKE as the co-founder.
That's
because
wild.
we both saw it from both sides and we had the skill set to actually build a company together.
I mean, the whole point of an internship is to get experience to learn how to do or run a company or whatever, or be part of an organization, whatever. If you find what you want to do, there's no point in the internship anymore.
Yeah.
Really not.
No, it was really, really like one of the most fated moments of my entire life that I'm so lucky is like continued in such a meaningful way. And the way that we've scaled this past year is just remarkable. And I'm so excited to see where we are in a year. We only met last June.
I know it's been very,
very
very raw, like very new. I mean, we met maybe it was November. So
yeah, that's another story too.
maybe like
Do you know how I
3
got to that
months
conference?
After? No.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Do we want to get there yet? Or
I'm going to explain what HiiKE is first.
Yes.
And then I'll get there because
you still haven't explained what HiiKE is?
I haven't explained
Gosh.
what HiiKE is. I needed to give that backstory about me and Tyler,
We're gonna have to do a whole second episode. Before.
No, but truthfully though, I couldn't have built HiiKE without Tyler.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Tyler and I built this together, you know, like of course I started it, but like
She's the yin to your yang.
exactly. And without that perspective, HiiKE isn't what it is.
Yep.
So I needed to share that first. But anyways, HiiKE is a film festival research and submission platform. So the way that it works for filmmakers is they can come to our platform, tell us the specifics about themselves and their film through a short quiz, and then they get recommended to the right festivals. Not just like a long laundry list of festivals, like truly tailored to who they are based off of submission categories at festivals, rules, premiere requirements, previously programmed films. So it's truly like a tailored experience.
And you guys also vet those festivals too. Like, it's not like you're just letting every festival in.
No. Our competitor platform lists about 5,600 festivals in the US. And we went through every single one of every film festival in every city, in every state. And we figured out that the list of actual real and active film festivals in the US is only 1,300-ish.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, huge discrepancy there. So beyond the vetting process, you can actually get recommended to the festivals for you based off these very specific data points. And then for festivals, we've built a management system that promotes efficiency in a really unique way. Because right now, a lot of people don't know this, but programming teams are oftentimes managing their submissions elsewhere, like on their own spreadsheets and in their own little systems, even though they're paying for other places.
Yep.
So we've made it so that they can actually manage their submissions all in one place in a really, really streamlined effort to work with your team seamlessly and not have weird things happen with videos. Like we've promoted a very secure submission process. So when a filmmaker is actually submitting to a festival, they know that their IP, their work is safe. That was a very big thing for us. And then they can also get view tracking analytics. So beyond DRM security, so no one can screen record your film, or invisible watermarking or text watermarking, where if your film was taken off the platform, there's code and little things embedded in those watermarks where if it was posted anywhere else, you'd get notified.
Yeah, if someone took it and posted it on YouTube, then you could track it.
Exactly.
Yep.
So those kind of things end up being really important for the filmmaker, but then also for the festivals. Right now, there's such a lack of trust in the festival circuit. When filmmakers are submitting, they don't even know if their films are being watched. That's kind of like the rhetoric that's going around. And it's
because like especially with like Vimeo, like people use Vimeo because that was the most like they could use that data like closely, like compared to YouTube, where YouTube, like someone watches it, doesn't necessarily show up. But then people started saying things about Vimeo too, that wasn't counting the views, or you couldn't track, like someone could watch it, but you couldn't track it how long they watched it for. Like did they watch your whole film or not? I'm guessing your platform
so we
shows that.
Don't want to make any festival in an uncomfortable position either, because when you're a screener and you're going through a submission process, obviously it goes through multiple rounds of when, different programmers and screeners are actually watching your film. But you get to see the minimum number of screeners that have watched it, and you get to see that they did actually go in and review your submission.
See, I would almost want to make sure that like there's a requirement that if any film is selected, that it was watched in its entirety.
Interesting.
Because if you think about that,
I'll take that note.
Yeah, I think like there's a part where like there's probably festivals out there like they watch the first few minutes like, oh, this is so good, we got to make sure this is in.
Interesting.
And they may not even watch the whole thing.
A lot of the festivals that we speak to, actually every festival that we've spoken to has at least 2 or 3 screeners watching every film, even in like the preliminary round. So we have it where you can set that parameter and have an easy way where you can batch assign submissions to the screeners on your team, or you can have them automatically assigned. So it's actually pretty cool the way that it works. It's just like a seamless way to manage your submissions. And we're building out this programming page where you get a bird's eye view of everything that's actually happening. So Airtable of sorts. Yeah.
That's great though. You're keeping the festivals accountable, but you're at the same time you're also kind of holding the filmmakers accountable too, and also at the same time helping both. So I think it's not just about keeping accountable. It's also you're like, hey, how can we help you guys work together too? Give you all the data points that are needed on both ends to make sure everyone's happy and everyone's successful. And then I think one of my favorite parts about what you guys are doing, and again, I know a little bit more than other people just because we're also one of the festivals that are as part of the pilot program. So the one thing I really love though is the fact that the filmmaker has the opportunity not just to find the right festivals, but not to enter in the ones that they probably don't have a chance for.
Totally.
Which at the end of the day saves money.
100%.
And
we even have a budgeting tool for filmmakers, which is something that has never existed before. So if you know that you only have a specific amount to actually spend on your festival circuit, that's an important tool to have. So you can save money and also be very specific about your submissions.
Yeah.
But I want to go back for a second because I will say I don't know if accountability is the right word necessarily. Sure. I would more say it's transparency. It's building this community of trust. And like that trust needs to be rebuilt right now. And for filmmakers, obviously we're helping them find the right festivals. But for festivals, we have to remember that sponsorships and government grants are really drying up right now. Yes. So that's something that we've built for particularly beyond any efficiency tool, like for the festivals themselves. It was really important when we manually collected our data literally by hand. Took us many, many months. And it was completely worth it. But what we were able to do is all of the sponsor data is entirely public. We were able to write down every sponsor at each film festival so that other festivals can see who in their area or festivals of a similar festival focus, who they're getting sponsored by to hopefully generate leads and boost revenue for their events.
See, I would almost take it a step further and just where my mind goes to is the sponsors.
Okay.
And making sure that the sponsorship money does not dry up. The reason why it might be drying up is partly because are the sponsors getting the bang for their buck? And are the promises that each festival maybe are saying like, hey, we're going to do X, Y, and Z and this many eyeballs and all that stuff to that sponsor, is that actually being met?
Interesting.
And so I'd almost make sure like the sponsors would get to almost like say, hey, this is this festival we were sponsor of. Here's a little questionnaire. How did they do for you?
Interesting.
Because that at the end of the day, we want those sponsors to also take part in other festivals that are hopefully recognized and actually legitimate. And so like even with like TCL was our best picture sponsor.
Right.
We actually originally in our agreement said we'll give you a 6-second bumper ad that we'll put stitched in to each film so that every single person that watches on Mometu is going to see that TCL's there.
Love that.
And they're our best picture sponsor. That ended up being like a 13-second ad because the creative was so awesome.
Yeah.
And it had like, they showcased their 98-inch TV or whatever. But I mean, there were tens of thousands of people that got to see TCL. Like,
I love that.
And so like we made sure that we followed through on those points. But like some of the, maybe the smaller sponsors may have only been like Program or Banner or Step and Repeat or whatever. And it's like, did they actually get the bang for their buck? Did the festival hire a proper photographer to make sure that pictures were being taken so that visuals are being seen and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I love that. You know, right now we don't have individual relationships with those sponsors yet, but it's an absolute goal of ours in the future
For sure.
to almost have a CRM tool system where you can actually communicate directly on the platform itself. But for now, the cool thing I think that kind of speaks to what you were just talking about is showing the specific hospitality features at festivals. And by actually showing what a festival has to offer, one, that's a really great thing for festivals themselves, like for their good publicity. Two, filmmakers know what they're getting themselves into. Like, let's say a filmmaker doesn't have the budget to travel to festivals, and they know that if they apply to specific festivals that are going to help with housing or help with travel costs, those kind of things, help with meals.
Or do virtual educational panels.
Oh,
those,
yeah.
for
Or
those that are not able to travel, they at least get something out of the festival still.
or have dinner parties or opening night parties or fireside chats or filmmaker panels. All of those things like are able to actually be shown. And I think to your point, that's not just for the filmmaker. That also could be for the sponsor. Yeah.
100%. We'd love to work with like a travel sponsor.
Yeah, very cool. There's a
could
lot
cover-
of people that have travel sponsors or hotel sponsors or those kind of things. So you can find all of that on HiiKE now that you're a
Even
founding
just
festival.
like a Southwest voucher for $200 or something.
Yeah.
Like whatever. No, that's incredible what you're building, and I
Thanks.
absolutely love HiiKE. I do enjoy the other platform that you've talked about, but I think the evolution of what you guys are doing is really going to either give them a run for their money or is potentially, I think, could take over and be the number one spot to go to. And I really, really hope that for you, because I see a lot of promise with this.
Thank you.
And I feel like filmmakers are going to really gravitate toward it.
The cool thing about Film Freeway and HiiKE is we're both non-exclusive platforms, so you can actually exist on both at the same time. It's just more about having different access points for filmmakers to go to. Our price point is slightly lower than Film Freeway for the actual submission fee that we take. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, do me a favor, just because I know we're going to have you back on again. I just know we are.
Thanks.
Do me a favor, look down the barrel in the camera.
Okay.
I'll just give you an opportunity, and for those that are not watching, you obviously can hear what's going on, but definitely check us out on YouTube so you can actually see Brynne on camera. But go ahead and share about where we can find HiiKE, but then also where we can find you, because I think that's really important, because I think sometimes utilizing platforms, there's not really a direct like contact us type situation, and I feel like you guys are really active in talking to everyone that wants to know about HiiKE. So how can we find you also?
Okay. I have a weirdly spelt name, so I'm going to have it pop up on the screen here. Thanks, Ken. I'm Brynne Norquist, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm really active on LinkedIn. I also use Instagram, particularly for HiiKE. It's join.hike with 2 I's on Instagram. So follow us there. And I am a little bit active on TikTok as well. I have a handle called Brynne in Business. So those are 3 places that you can connect with me. My email is also brynne@hike.com. Feel free to reach out whenever. We really want to help you get to the top and get your films seen by the right audiences. And of course, festival organizers as well. If you guys want to work together, reach me there.
Awesome. Well, Brynne in Business is a lot of fun, actually. But and again, Brynne in Business came up on my FYP.
Thanks.
Like, it wasn't because we had reached out to each other. Like at that point, we didn't even have each other's number. Like
I've
were just
only been
contacted via
posting for like
email and all that stuff,
2 months. Like it's pretty new,
but it popped up.
Yeah,
it popped up. I mean, so Jen Levinson, who I talked to, we're going to talk about her movie in the second half here.
Great film.
Trust. She popped up on my FYP.
Cool.
That's how I got to know her. And like she was just
No
talking
way.
about her experience within distribution and film festivals and making her making her first feature film. So that was all TikTok. So thank you, TikTok.
Thanks,
Appreciate
TikTok.
you guys.
Yeah. It's actually pretty fun. I think one of my favorite things about using that platform, it's always felt really uncomfortable to me, and it still does, and I don't think it ever won't. But the really cool thing about TikTok is when you share insight to a specific community, Yeah, it might not reach everyone in the world. You might not be getting tens of thousands of views, but like what's really meaningful to me is getting 300 likes and 150 saves.
Yeah.
And knowing that like people are actually going to revisit my knowledge and it's going to help them down the line. So
100%.
post a lot of stuff that I just know, for filmmakers trying to navigate this whole crazy landscape. But yeah, that's been really meaningful for me.
Yeah, it definitely feels good when you get like a lot of likes and you're like, oh, cool, it resonated. So proud.
Yeah.
But at the same time, impacting one person, like that's my
Yeah.
my own focus is like, if I can reach one person for every post, one person per day, one more subscriber, one more listener, like I'm stoked.
Yeah.
And that's actually with our film festival, like our literally focus is like, hey, if we can impact one of those, like this year at 83 filmmakers, if we can impact one filmmaker to like literally be able to do this for the rest of their life because of our festival, like we're stoked.
Love it.
Right. And hopefully it's many more than that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So HiiKE, go check it out.
Go check it out.
HiiKE.com and go check out Brynne Business. She's a lot of fun on TikTok. So with that though, we are going to take a quick little break and be right back for the funnest segment that you'll ever hear or see. Today's podcast promotion goes out to Get Wrecked, hosted by none other than Juju Green, better known online as Straw Hat Goofy. If you're into film, TV, and pop culture, Juju breaks it all down with insight, humor, and that signature Straw Hat Goofy energy we all know from social media. Make sure to check out Get Wrecked wherever you listen to podcasts and get yourself some movie recommendations. And with that, let's get back into the pod. All right, we're back, and we have Miss Brynne Norquist.
Hey.
I don't think Ken can be clapping. I'm not sure. Maybe, possible. Would you like to play a little game we have called This or That?
I think I would, yeah.
Awesome. It's a lot of fun. And This or That is actually brought to you by our friends at, I don't like the papers. Brought to you by our friends at Coastline Travel. We'll talk about it. But go to Coastline Travel if you're looking to book a flight, hotel, book an excursion, have some fun, whatever you want to do, whether it be for yourself or, hey, if you're looking to do it for your company too. They do group travel too. So go check them out. Coastlinetravel.com. Miss Norquist, we have a set of 20 questions.
Okay, let's do it.
And they're all random. They're a lot of fun on very thin pieces of paper because there was a sale and I just went for the cheapest option. I'm going to go back to our nicer ones that I can throw and actually hit Craig in the head with. And I'll be throwing them around. So we asked 20 questions. The first question we asked every single person. All the rest of the questions are just random. And some of them are tailored towards you. So.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm nervous.
Be nervous. Be very afraid. Tacos or pizza?
Tacos.
Tacos. Best answer.
I'm gluten-free.
Oh, well, that'll do it. That'll do it.
The New Yorker in me wants to say pizza, but the gluten-free in me wants to say tacos.
I really thought you were going to say pizza, so it's all good, though. You've been here in California long enough.
Like 6 months.
Yep.
I've been turned to the dark side. It didn't take very long.
It's long enough. Tacos are the best, especially some street tacos. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yeah. And I got you a coffee right before
Thanks.
this. Thanks to Duke's Cafe. Shout out to you guys. It's like, ta-da. Accidental reply all email or like someone's post from 10 years ago.
Post from 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have way too many emails in my inbox that are way too important.
So yeah, and you want to reply all, that's smart. And actually it'd be kind of fun to like a post from like 10 years ago. I mean, obviously they're going to think you're stalking them, but
oh, I don't care. I'm shameless. I'm shameless.
Fun conversation. Pull an all-nighter or wake up at 4 a.m. to do it?
4 a.m.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Early bird.
Yeah.
Okay. And hence why you like coffee.
I'm actually okay with minimal sleep. I've obviously pulled many all-nighters, especially with HiiKE. But yeah, I would rather get a couple hours and just wake up and
just get grinding again.
Go through the day. Yeah.
I was like that until I had a toddler, like had a baby. So
100%. Yeah, that will do it.
Sleep is golden, and you just know that little alarm clock that is him waking up is going to happen, usually earlier than you planned for.
Oh, bummer.
Ski slopes or a beach day?
Ski.
Yeah. Staying with
It's like
staying
meditation
strong.
for me.
I'll give you another year. You'll be at the beach. Elevator pitch in an elevator or pitch deck on a roller coaster.
Oh, pitch deck on a roller coaster. That's so fun. That is so fun. I'm so animated too that like I feel like I would just turn around and the whole roller coaster, I could get them locked in.
Ooh, you're not just focusing on one seat. You're going on the whole entire group of people.
Well, think of it. It's like the subway surfers in the corner. Like I think people need a roller coaster to focus these days. Elevator pitch in an elevator. It's too locked in.
Yeah, that could be fun. Speaking of fun, road trip or take a flight?
That's a hard answer. Road trip to where?
I don't know. Doesn't
Like where
say.
are we going?
Make it up.
If it's cross country flight, if it's like a little closer, road trip. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's cross country,
If it's cross country, that's kind of a lot.
it's a long ways.
Yeah, I'd rather fly.
Teach their own. I'm taking a flight. Absolutely. I'm one of those that takes a flight to Vegas. I'm not about to drive 4 hours.
I drove.
I've driven
I've only
multiple
gone
times.
once.
I've driven
and
multiple times.
I
but
drove, yeah.
No, never again.
Okay.
I only fly. Like it's not
How
the
often
drive.
are you going to Vegas?
I went off to when I was younger, but it was always like the drive there is never the problem. It's always the drive back. You're just exhausted. You're tired. You're like,
Yeah.
I just don't want to do anything except take a flight back and then get an Uber home.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Always flying. Yeah. Like CES, NAB, flying.
Yeah, totally.
Are you gonna be the group project leader, or do you quietly? Are you the quietly does it all teammate?
Leader.
Yeah.
100%.
It's like these questions I wrote down. I already knew the answers. But I'm asking them now. Computer crash mid pitch, or mic doesn't work at a festival Q&A.
Computer crash mid pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can
You
pitch
got
it.
that-
I
you
can
got-
do
you-
it without the slide deck.
Yeah, you got
It's
that.
all
in there.
good.
You got that in there.
Yeah.
See, for me, I'd be totally fine with the mic going out because I have a very loud voice.
Right. But if it's a panel,
Well, if it's
then
a panel,
then
but
you don't
they-
know if you can
True.
count on the other people to have the loud voice just like you. Plus it's just a
Very
more
true.
enjoyable experience for the audience.
Yeah.
Anyways, to have a mic at a festival panel, but
I do agree.
yeah.
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 But at the same time, it's like, hey, well, if the mic goes out, all the people's attention has to be on the Q&A. Because
Totally.
you do not want to be that one person that's like on their phone or
Yeah,
whatever.
Totally.
You can hear
But
that.
you know what? With the pitch, if the slides deck fail and you can still keep people engaged,
Then you know you're doing a great job.
then you know you have a great product.
I'm with you on that. I miss giving pitches. I cannot wait to start doing more of them. Which
Hey,
we'll-
you so should.
you and I should talk about this.
Let's host a pitch competition, Brian.
Ooh, I love that. Let's do
and
it.
let's do it for independent filmmakers.
We're bringing on interns this fall,
Love it.
marketing interns
Fun.
for Mometu, and part of that is actually we're going to have them come up through the semester, come up with an idea that we can utilize for marketing Mometu. So
Very
gotta
cool.
pitch that idea, whether it be group setting or single. I'm not sure, depending on how many interns we bring on. But the winning idea is going to get implemented.
That's so cool.
It'll be a lot of fun. Redo college with what you know now, or stay the course.
Stay the course of what? Life?
Yeah, like would
Totally stay the course of life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. When I was done with
not like
college,
it was that long ago, but it was like 5 years ago. But
No, it was like I graduated in December last
Yeah.
year. Like it was so recent. And I graduated early. Like I technically was
Oh.
class of 2025.
oh wow,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. When I was done with college, I knew I was ready to blossom in the real world.
Yeah.
Like epistemophilia, love to learn.
Yep.
If I had to go back and do everything I learned with the knowledge that I learned already, there's no purpose for that. Yeah. I would love to go back and speak to the students and be a part of it and hopefully make enough money one day where I can like help support financially.
For sure.
Like I loved Emerson so much. It was such a great experience.
that's all.
But I don't want to go back.
Yeah, you're like, no, I'm done with school.
Yeah.
Karaoke night or trivia night?
Karaoke.
Yeah. What's your go-to song? What is it?
Probably Roxanne by the Police.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah.
She knows Roxanne, but she doesn't know Cool Runnings. Cool.
Okay, well, my dad is very cool. My dad has a really cool music taste.
Yeah.
So thanks, Dad.
Yeah, karaoke is a lot of fun. I know my honeymoon, my wife and I, the 500 Miles song,
Yeah.
the I Want to Be, so fun.
Yeah.
Gets the whole crowd in.
My other one with my sister though is What Is This Feeling from Wicked. So totally opposite side of the spectrum.
opposite, like
Yeah,
full
very
Broadway.
like rock to Broadway,
Yeah,
but
that's different.
that's the duality of a woman, right?
TikTok or Instagram?
TikTok, I think. I don't know. Instagram, I personally don't really like to share my Instagram's very personal to me. Like I keep it personal. It's only people I really know. My TikTok, I'm like sharing my
Brynne for personal, Brynne for business.
Yeah,
There we go.
exactly.
Yep. Advice from a professor or advice from a mentor?
Well, I've had professors
They
that
can
have
be
turned
both.
into mentors. Like, actually, it's so cool. Not to harp on this again for a second, but like my economics professor ended up helping me in my business,
Yep.
and my startups professor ended up actually becoming an advisor and investor in HiiKE. Like,
So cool.
isn't that so incredible? So I see a lot of meaning in both teacher and mentor. Like, they are kind of one and the same. I definitely was a little bit of a teacher's pet in school, but making individual relationships with those people was so impactful to
I will
where
say
I
you're
am.
not a teacher's pet. The thing is that you took advantage of the time you were there.
Yeah.
Some people say like, oh, you're a teacher's pet or whatever. It's like, no, I'm trying to soak in this knowledge so that I can be more competitive in this industry or just have my business be more successful or
Yeah.
just get that leg up. And like, you have to.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't take that extra moment, extra time. This last episode we had Byron, he's a filmmaker on. He was talking about like, hey, like I would go on set and there'd be downtime and I'd just go talk to a director. I'd go talk to a producer. I'd go
Yeah.
talk to whatever because I wanted to learn all the different aspects of things that I wasn't doing.
Oh yeah.
You
When
have
I was
to.
11 years old, I was doing the same thing. Actually, it's kind of a funny story. When I was on my first film set, I was 11, and Frances McDormand was producing. Super cool. And instead of being super fascinated by the actresses I was working with, they're incredible actors, I would ask Frances so many questions that she was like, write them down. I don't have time for this. She was like, I promise I will get them to you. So now I literally have pages of notes that I still have at home from Frances McDormand, from my like curious 11-year-old self. So
cool.
I totally resonate with that of just trying to figure out everything you can.
That's awesome. Big meeting. Are you okay with mismatched shoes or wearing your shirt inside out?
Probably mismatched shoes. I think no one's focusing on your feet. Don't focus on my feet right now. Now I'm like,
Ken, zoom
hide
in.
them.
Zoom in, Ken.
No, but yeah, probably mismatched shoes. So long as they're like the same height. I'm not like walking lopsided.
It's like, hey, it was a stylish
Yeah.
choice. A stylish choice. What is better networking, a college mixer or a film festival lobby?
Film festival lobby.
I feel like it's one of the things that filmmakers need to make sure of when they get involved in a film festival, just when submitting their film. Make sure it's a film festival that you can get to.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
A lot of the times now, laurels are laurels, like unless you're in the top, like super top echelon or whatever, like a laurel kind of. But if you don't go in person, you're losing so much of the
Yeah.
valuable opportunities.
The
to network
in-person networking is unmatched at festivals. And that's literally why we show the hospitality features of festivals, because it's important for filmmakers to know if they even can go or like what they're going to get if they don't. You know, like here's why you should come to our festival. It's invaluable. It's a great experience. And the cool thing about festivals is you're going to meet collaborators, but you could also meet financiers.
Yep.
Like I just was speaking with this amazing girl, Devin. She just premiered her film at Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival. Like
Wow.
insane festival, Oscar qualifying festival. And she met a financier there who's going to fund her next project. Crazy.
Phenomenal.
You know, that's the value of going in person to festivals.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. You never know who you're going to meet. And
Yeah.
It could be a person that literally you end up like working on your next film with. Like,
Exactly. Collaborators.
whether it be not just financial, but like also like, you know, hey, I just found someone that's going to be my next producer or whatever.
or a
Right.
mentor or other people who are, it's incredible. Or other programmers. Like programmers like to go to other festivals too, you know?
Great point. Great point. Creative storytelling or data-driven storytelling?
I think it has to be a mix of both. You can't tell a story without having knowledge to back it up, and you can't have data points without having the story that weaves it together?
Yeah.
I actually can't answer that question. Sorry. It's this
okay.
and that, not this or that.
I usually don't let people do that, but I'll let it slide.
Okay.
No, it happens all the time.
Okay.
Raise VC money or bootstrap forever?
Bootstrap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you can.
You don't want to take money from the wrong people.
100%.
Yeah. I think that there's such a push to raise, and definitely like we're experiencing that for sure.
Yep.
But raising from strategic investors and people who truly care about the impact of your business and know why you're building it versus taking money from people who may try to influence you to get to the largest exit as fast as possible. You'd rather have the strategic team involved that care about your mission.
I'm with that. Be recognized for your product or for your story.
My product.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a great product.
Thanks. It really can make an impact.
I'll
and
be
I know
honest,
that it will.
I really love the story too, but it's
Thanks.
both. But that's a both answer too.
Yeah.
Change the industry by breaking the rules or change it by working within the system.
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Again, honestly, like the system has been around forever, like truly the backbone of the system hasn't necessarily changed all that much.
Mm-hmm.
But breaking rules is the only way that you can create innovation.
Yeah.
And innovation is so needed right now. So yeah, understanding the landscape and trusting that the landscape knows what it's doing, but also breaking rules in a very calculated, specific way to create meaningful change that's actually going to last.
Very well said. And lastly, I'm a filmmaker and I'm getting ready for my festival run.
Yeah.
Should I use HiiKE or Film Freeway?
HiiKE. I think you should use
I think you
HiiKE.
should use HiiKE.
The reason why is because while using HiiKE, you're going to get recommended to the right festivals. You're going to know where your film actually fits. You're going to be able to get specific advice, work within your budget, and get to the top.
Yeah. And I would say for those filmmakers that are like newer, like try HiiKE for sure. But for filmmakers that are like more established, that have used other services before, like try it out. Like
It would be like
even
light
if it's
and
just
day.
even if it's just one festival, two
Yeah.
festivals, like just for submissions, try it out. Doesn't mean you can't use the other service, but like or services because there's a few, but like
Of course.
the main one obviously we know is Film Freeway. So and we utilize Film Freeway. We love Film Freeway. Like
course.
we've had a great success with them.
Their
But-
story is also really cool too.
Very cool
talk
story.
about story, like
Yep.
they've got a cool one as well. And like I think that the way that they were able to innovate and capture with Out of Boxes market is also awesome. No shade, no nothing. It's just more of the industry needs something better and there's a push towards something different.
Yeah.
So that's what we're building. But yeah, we only went live with our first few festivals that you can actually accept submissions to on July 1st.
Yep.
So it's brand
Fresh.
new. But the really exciting thing, especially with having John involved, John is our co-founder. John Fitzgerald, he founded Slam Dance and directed AFI in Santa Barbara and Naples and Abu Dhabi and consulted Newport Beach and really just like there's like 40 festivals on this list. He's incredible. Like
Yeah,
he's
he is.
really incredible. He's a great person and he's got a lot of relationships in the industry. So we're scaling really fast. We're onboarding some really, really huge festivals right now that I want to share more about. I promise. You'll see it on HiiKE in a few weeks. But yeah, we're onboarding some really amazing festivals and I'm just really excited to see how fast we scale and how many festivals you can submit to on HiiKE within the next year or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the very least, as a research tool, it's something that all filmmakers should be using.
Yeah. Just check it out. I mean, it's not going to hurt. Try one festival. Maybe there's a festival that you can submit to for free. I don't know. Just try it out. See how it works. But yeah, Brynne, thank you for sharing with it. Thanks for playing this and that. Did you have fun?
I had fun.
Awesome. This or That, again, brought to you by Coastline Travel. So if you're trying to travel to your next film festival, go to Coastline Travel and they'll get you there. With that, we're going to take a quick little break and then we're going to get into talking about the movie that you picked on Mometu. Very exciting time. So stay tuned. Today's small business shout out goes to Enlighten Pet Behavior, a certified dog training company based in Los Angeles. Whether you need help in person or prefer the flexibility of virtual sessions, they make training accessible, effective, and compassionate. And they don't stop there. They also host the Doggy Dojo podcast, where they share practical tips and insights to help you better understand your pup. So, if you're looking for expert guidance to build a stronger bond with your dog, check out Enlighten Pet Behavior in person, online, and in your earbuds. And with that, let's get back to the pod. We have a task for every single guest, and we mentioned it earlier, but we have you pick a film that's playing on Mometu, over 10,000 titles, and you picked a film called Trust.
Yeah.
Gotta trust.
Gotta trust.
But it's not that kind of trust. It's the
No.
trust in the sense of
Funding.
finance.
The trust in fund. Yes.
6'5", blue eyes. No, it's the trust of that. Yeah, no, and it's we're doing a spoiler free review on it.
Yeah.
But it's the trust in the sense of like, yeah, if someone passes away and there's a trust. You got to figure all that stuff out. It's not fun. But this story was very well done.
Yeah, it was.
But like, why did you pick trust?
I picked trust because, one, honestly, this is going to sound weird, but posters are a pretty huge thing, and they had a very enticing poster.
Yes.
So good job to them there. But also the story is pretty interesting. I'm very drawn to family-based stories. So yeah, those are two reasons.
Yeah, great choices. The posters, artwork, all that stuff, banners, whatever, so important on a streaming service. And I harp on that whenever I talk to filmmakers, like they talk about wanting to get on Mometu or whatever, or like I try to help them get distribution, whatever it may be. I always talk to that and say, hey, you got to look at your poster, you got to look at your banner.
And they're
all the artwork
press
you
kit.
submit. Well, press kits are important for like selling your film,
Yeah.
right? But
And
like when
festival
you're,
submissions.
but like yeah, for sure. But like when you have a distributor like representing you,
For sure.
and you're going to get onto a streaming service, like the distributor is typically not going to revamp your artwork. Like some do, but most don't. They just take what you give them, and they're going to represent you the best way they can. So for a filmmaker, I always say like, hey, look at your artwork, look at your poster, banner, look at your trailer, even because sometimes like your poster is really good, but then your trailer is like, meh. And
Yeah.
it's like, and sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes your trailer is just boss, and then like your poster is just, like,
Yeah.
And so like you have to have the two to really go well together. Some people don't like trailers. Like some people don't like, they'll watch movies without watching a trailer. And then that turns into the other thing you need to have is really cool metadata, right? So
Of
like
course.
for yourself, you read the metadata and saw that like it's about family.
Yeah,
You're
the
like,
log
this is
line.
cool, right? So it hit 2 points of the 3. I don't know if did you watch the trailer before you watched the feature?
I did not actually, but I will say I did also do a little stalking, and like they had a pretty specific festival circuit, which was also really fascinating to me. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's an incredible film, and shout out to a friend of ours who was on this podcast, who is the filmmaker behind Trust, Jen Levinson. So shout out to you, Jen, good friend, and go check out her episode too. If you haven't watched that episode, got to go check out her podcast episode on here. So first take on Trust.
I think they did a phenomenal job of immediately establishing the world that the film exists in and establishing really specific characters. Yeah.
That first 5 minutes is like so impactful to understand the lead.
Immediate call to action. Immediate call to action. Like it happened so fast that your viewer is immediately locked in.
Yeah. But even understanding her character, like
Of course.
you understand that like she's ignoring phone calls. She's so set and like she's, I don't know what school she was at, they never said, but like
Yeah.
imagine
She's focused.
like, yeah,
She's
I
preparing
could
for
see,
something
I
big.
could see you being her in a sense
Yeah.
of like, I'm laser focused on the presentation I'm going to give. I have been locked in, dialed, whatever, to the point where literally she forgets to change her clothes. And so like it's
and then your world stops
and then
in like
boom.
one moment.
Yeah. I mean, it really locks you in. You're like, okay, I'm sold. It's almost like nowadays with content, like you have to grab someone within the first 5 to 7 seconds on like,
Yeah.
social media. And if you don't, they're scrolling away to the next thing. This is something where within a movie, you have to get someone locked in within the first 15 minutes. If not, they're out. and they're going to go to the next film. They're like, I don't want to invest 90 minutes of my life on this slow burn or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they did an incredible job writing in that beginning to really get you engaged right away.
Agreed.
You mentioned a character performance, like obviously with her in the beginning, but what were your thoughts on the character performance?
Oh, yeah. The characters were great. I think that you can immediately identify each character specifically, especially between the siblings and the relationships between the parent that's alive that doesn't die in the film.
Yes.
Those relationships were really, really well established. You know who all three of them are and their unique identities. It's not like the children parent. It's like each individual person and the parent as well.
And you could tell, like, besides like the older sister being blonde, which is, I'm not sure if they're implying probably dyed hair or whatever. I don't know. But either way, they all have unique characteristics where they're also siblings.
Totally, totally. But I think particularly it comes down to motivation, and you knew each character's motivation pretty much the second that they were introduced.
Very true. I really enjoyed Jen's character. So Jen Levinson wrote it, produced it, but also starred in it. And she talks a little bit about that, and she shared with us on our podcast, is like she was tired of waiting for a story to be, for her to get casted in a story that would really resonate with her. So she's like, I'm just going to go make my own movie now.
And be in it.
And be a boss lady, just like
That's so
you.
cool.
So it's just like, I'm going to go and do it, and I'm not going to wait for someone else to do it for me. Like, I'm going to write my own story and make it happen. And so her character was so well written because it's also based on a lot of like
Personal.
kind of, real like lived moments in her life. Not all of them, but like, I mean, she did a very, very good job of writing her own character, but at the same I really enjoyed the older brother.
Yeah, of course.
He phenomenal job acting. And
I really like that his character was so data driven, for lack of better words.
Okay.
Like he was the type of person where it's like I'm thinking in the best interest of, he wasn't necessarily the emotional character of it all. He was the analytical one. So that was like a really stark contrast to Jen's character.
And he is an accountant.
Yeah, of course,
So
but
that helps.
But even in day-to-day life, of like in a decision-making manner, it was so specific where you could tell where each person fit entirely.
So I only say that because my father-in-law is an accountant.
Okay.
And so it's very similar.
And he's
in the sense of
analytical,
like, very
right.
analytical, very like, I want to know what's going on. Some things he'll fly by the seat of his pants for, but like most of the time it's like, hey, I want to know this, like there's a plan, and like we're not wasting time, and like it's just always very calculated, not calculated, but just planned out. So I could totally see like my father-in-law is like a younger version of him in this character too, because just accountants are kind of like that. Like it's just they have a certain personality, and they have to be, because they have to be on top of numbers constantly.
Yeah.
So they're always planning for like what calculated risks, especially auditors, like within the accounting world. They're always calculating risks for companies. And actually, my father-in-law is an auditor. So
very good.
Shout out to you, Wayne. Love my father-in-law. He's awesome. Couldn't have asked for a better one. So, and I know he listens to this, so I'm not buttering you up, I promise. As far as the writing goes for this story, how was that for you?
Oh, I think the pacing was great.
Yes.
I think that it was perfectly paced, and that's like something that I really look out for in writing. Like I haven't obviously seen the script, but I can tell that the direction was just so specific, and then how that compares to the dialogue and the pacing of that was phenomenal. I really, really liked that.
I really enjoyed the comedic bits too, though. Like, so we know the mother passed away. That's not a spoiler.
Not a spoiler. It's the premise of the film.
Maybe a spoiler, the fact that she's cremated, but
okay, that's
not really. It's not really a spoiler, but either way,
it just happened so early. That might be a little
it's a
spoiler.
Kind of, but
you're kind of breaking your own rules right now, Ryan.
It happens. It happens. There's still a whole lot more to unpack and watch, but I really love the moments of like when the writing that Jen put in there about like her teeth in there, like it's just like
it's
those
funny.
little things.
It's funny.
Really well done. You have to break that up, like. This is a very serious drama in the sense of like the tone of the story. And so you have to have really good comedic bits in there to really break it up, the emotion, because it just gets so serious, obviously, especially towards the end. It gets very serious. And so yeah, hats off to her for doing that. And
Totally.
again, the pacing, I put a note here
Yeah.
because I have notes on the side here that I keep looking down at. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at, that's what it is. The pacing, though, yeah, incredible. She kept it moving. And not her. She's not the director. Almog. Almog is
Right.
an incredible human being. He's awesome. But Almog was able to keep that pacing up for the writing. I think that's something that needs to be kept where directors can sometimes do their own thing is when they
Right.
get on set. And sometimes the writing also needs to be uplifted by the director. So
Yeah, absolutely.
whatever they did while they were on set, and they actually filmed this during COVID.
Oh, wow.
Kind of a crazy story.
That's so interesting.
People had to mask up. They had SAG,
Yeah.
SAG reps that were there and
Wow.
making sure that people were like safety protocols and swabbed and all that stuff. It was gnarly, like what Jen's story is about this film.
Yeah.
But to do all that in such a crazy time too is
Totally.
very well done to them. Who would enjoy this film?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, it did really well on the Jewish festival circuit, which I think is really cool. The family is Jewish.
Yep.
A very big part of it, which I also don't think that this is a spoiler, is sitting Shiva. And I think anyone who's experienced that
Yeah.
can really relate to that. I'm personally not Jewish, but I actually grew up doing like Shabbat every Friday with my best
Oh,
friend
crazy.
and her family. And like, my mom has cooked kosher for all of our friends. I've been to Israel for a bar mitzvah. Like I'm very tapped into that culture. So
Yeah.
for me to watch this film, like I actually felt kind of like engaged in a more
Like you
meaningful way.
understood it,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, of course I've understood it. It's not a good thing, but like I have sat Shiva before. And yeah, so I think Jewish families would love this film, but more than that, anyone who has a interesting family dynamic with betrayal. I won't say anything more than that, but
That's a great
someone
point.
who's experienced betrayal from a family member
Yeah,
would resonate with this film.
for sure. That's a great take.
Thanks.
Hot take.
It's not a spoiler. It's not a
It's a
spoiler.
warm take, hot take. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a take. It's a,
It's a take.
phenomenal take on that. I'd not even think about that as far as an audience standpoint, a data point that only you would know.
I think
'cause you're in the
that something they
data-driven.
did really well is this is a film that can be enjoyed by young audiences, old
Yes.
audiences. It actually doesn't come down to like an age demographic, which is pretty
Yeah.
unique.
I would say more of like a PG-13 type, only because of the fact
Yeah.
that like there are some. It is a serious.
Of course.
Like we don't. Like,
Definitely older audiences.
PGG kiddos don't need to be watching this
Right,
kind of stuff.
right.
Like, but a teenager could for sure watch this.
Absolutely.
100%. It's definitely it's a mature story, but done in a way that numerous age demographics could enjoy this. My stepmother, previous stepmother, was Jewish, and so we sat Shiva for her as well. So I
Yeah.
got to I'm not Jewish, but I got to kind of just be involved in sitting Shiva, and it is really cool to see the community come together, and it's not just the Jewish community. It's like people respect that religion,
100%.
Or just that faith, to where I'll come by and take part in this part of your culture.
Not
And-
to relate that to the festival circuit at all, but like I'm going to. No, the festival circuit is really cool, and something that we've really gotten specific about within HiiKE is figuring out festival focus and how that pertains to specific people and the content of the films, because it's not just about if you have a good film, you want to go to XYZ festival. It's like you got to figure out who you are. Like what are your, because there are like specific genre festivals. There are also specific affinity festivals like the Jewish festival circuit. And it's pretty amazing that they were able to tap into that so clearly. And I think that's a really great case study for the impact of being able to know your audience.
For sure.
And tap into that audience on the festival circuit.
That's a great point. Absolutely. If you could sum up Trust and do just a couple lines for someone to go watch, what would you sum it up as?
It's a story about a family navigating loss and betrayal simultaneously, while also coming to a pretty big decision. And I don't want to spoil. Like, coming to a pretty big decision and advocating for their specific relationships to their mother in the process.
Great.
No spoiler there?
No.
No spoiler there.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at
I
all.
hope that makes sense.
No, it's a fun watch.
Yeah, it's a good watch.
It's a very good watch. Like Jen mentioned in our podcast, like dramas are very hard to market because horror does so well right now. Comedy is always like, okay, I want to laugh, whatever. But like a drama can be tough sometimes.
Right.
And so I will say this is a drama. It is a serious tone, but like the writing, the comedic aspects of this, just the characters itself, so worth a watch. So if you haven't yet and you're still listening to this podcast, make sure you go download Mometu and watch Trust.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it's the Trust with Jen Levinson, who is the producer, but she's also the star of the film. So
It was genuinely a really good watch, and I would
100%.
recommend audiences to go watch it.
100%, yeah, it's worth it, and yeah, it's playing for free. So go check it out on
Yeah.
Mometu.
I also want to say I'd be honest otherwise. So
Yeah,
you can take my word for it.
I'm taking it,
Okay.
taking a run with it. Brynne, it's been absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. This has been really fun. This is my first podcast ever.
That is
so
wild to me.
Super
You
cool.
told us that at the break, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
what? No way. You did such a phenomenal job for your first
Thanks.
podcast. So I'm glad that we could be your first,
Yeah.
and hopefully many, many more. If you need connections on getting onto other podcasts, let me know. I'd love to
Love it.
get you out there and
Let's
share
talk about it
share
after,
HiiKE
Brian.
everywhere. We will. So, but thank you again for coming on, and
Yeah.
we'll have you on again soon.
This was really fun. All right. Thanks, guys. Good to chat. Thanks for hanging out.
Peace. Thanks for spending your time with us today on the More For Me and You podcast. If you've made it to the end, we appreciate you. Now, go do us a quick favor. Please like, comment, and share this episode. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode with the incredible guests we have coming up. You can also follow us at Mometu Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. Oh, and for your next movie night, check out the Mometu app. It's free and packed with amazing movies and shows you've probably never seen. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the pod.